Hi, Old Guy here. Today we're going to talk about what some people may say is my over-the-top junkyard tool rig. Now, I've been going to junkyard a long time. I was thinking about it the other day, and the first time I went to the junkyard was 57 years ago. I had a 55 Chevy. It was kind of easy taking toolbox to the junkyard back then. I had a 3-drawer toolbox. In fact, I still have the same 3-drawer toolbox I had 57 years ago. You needed a set of screwdrivers, you needed some ratchets, some wrenches, some sockets, and you could basically do everything you needed on a car with that toolbox. You didn't need a lot of stuff. But now you've got a lot of specialty tools. You started getting Torx, triple stars, Allen wrenches. So you started needing sockets for that stuff, or nut drivers and other specialty tools. Let's say you started, you got a foreign car and you've got struts, and you've got to take struts apart. You're going to need a spring compressor. You're going to need to top the strut off. It might take a special tool. All this stuff adds up more and more tools you needed. So now basically on my bench, if you've seen any of my videos before, I have 2 toolboxes on my bench. And it covers most of what I need. Granted, it doesn't care for the strut compressors or the spring compressors or anything like that, but it's what you need. It's a little hard to carry around 2 toolboxes, especially when you get older. So I started looking around, and I used to go to a lot of going out of business auctions. I got a lot of stuff from businesses, and one of the things I picked up was a cart along the way. And I got a cart, and it's nice, and that's how I go to the junkyard. I put 2 toolboxes on it, I put another wooden container in the center, and off I go. Some people are going to also say that this cart is too big for most cars, and it is. I go to the junkyard in the van, and it's easy to put it in there and throw all the parts you get and everything else. But one time, went to the junkyard, my car was in the shop, and a friend and I went in his Mark IV VW wagon. Now we got my toolbox in that wagon, along with the tools, and we threw in an Audi Quattro transmission. So it's doable, and we didn't even have all the space used up. A lot of it, but not quite. So anyway, we're going to show you my junkyard tool rig. This is basically the tool rig when it's set up with my tools. I've got 2 toolboxes. This toolbox is mostly regular tools. This is like specialty tools or Torx, Allens, triple stars. And then I made this box in the center. The box has a lip on it down at the bottom to prevent it from sliding off. And it's also mounted small enough so you can lift the lid and it doesn't hit the box. So anyway, this is just a regular toolbox, 1/2 inch in the top with, of course, some specialty tools. Large triple star. If I can get that to get out of the way. Now, my Hazet ratchet, which basically eliminates all the other ratchets I had in here, mostly. You've got screwdrivers, pliers, cable cutters. Down here you have mostly 3/8 sockets. And of course my magnets for my Harbor Freight socket holders. On the other toolbox, these are all specialty tools, nut drivers, various tools here. This drawer you have flare wrenches. If you don't know what flare wrenches are, I've got a video on that. Ratchet wrenches, offsets, bottom drawer, Torx, stars, Allens, easy outs, and specialty stars. Specialty tool for taking off oxygen sensors and stuff. And in the center, you're just, your impacts, which back in the day we didn't have any impacts. Nuts and bolts, metric wrenches. If you've got other specialty tools you need, like spring compressors, ball joints, or tie rod end removers, things like that. This is the way it's set up. I know this is over the top, but seems like these days in junkyards you almost have to bring what you need. And like I said in another video, these two toolboxes just sit on my bench, so it's not an inconvenience of having to repack everything just to go to the junkyard. So the other little thing I've found that's handy is sometimes when you're working on a car, you're doing the same thing on both sides. Like, let's say you're taking off struts or whatever on one side of a car, and you're going to need to go to the other side of the car, or you're underneath the car and you're using the same tools. I find it's handy to keep the same tools at hand, because I'm just going from one side of the car using these tools, I'm going to the other side and using the same tools. So I'll put sockets that I used on one side, or the wrenches or whatever on one side. This is magnetic and it holds the tools. These are sockets, the socket holder just screwed in, and you just stick your sockets in it. You're ready to reuse them on the other side. Or you can use, again, a Harbor Freight magnetic. I just put 3 little pieces of metal there, and it slaps on. But it's easy to grab the socket used on one side to use it on the other side. You don't have to go rummaging through the boxes again. Anyway, this is how I go to the junkyard. A little over the top, but you don't have to.